yum, like a snack. Oh my god. Oh, dark skin girls, you guys rock. You guys rock. Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a makeup shoot today, and here with me is my model Dome, guys, not Doom, because I know that some persons in their minds would have said I've been a Doom. No, it's Dome, and I'm super excited to share with you all what I am going to do today. Look at that skin, like this girl is a snack. Her skin is popping, her black is something else. Like in my next world, I really want to be very, very darker than this, like so dark that if you look at me, it's like you're seeing shadow. Yes, like her skin is so healthy, so beautiful, and she is a nurse. So I'm going to talk about that aspect very, very soon in this video. Just keep watching. If you want to know how I glammed her up, please stay tuned. So the first thing I did was to carve her brows. Yes, because you want that properly defined brow, so you have to carve it to have the required shape. So I'm going to link my brow carving tutorial in this video so that you guys can know how to carve brows for those who are just watching my video for the first time today. And then after carving it, I went ahead to apply this moisturizer on her face, and I'll be using my hands to apply this all over her face, like let it sink. Like if you do a very, very good moisturizing job on the face, you could actually pull off your makeup without even primer or without any other serum or anything at all. You could just go straight up to foundation, like if you moisturize properly. And the moisturizer I used is from Balm. I'm just going to leave all the products in the description box so that you guys can see. And right now I'm going in with hydrating serum from Zaron Cosmetics. The scent alone from this particular product is so nice and super clean and beautiful. Like the scent is amazing. Okay, so that's hydrating serum from Zaron Cosmetics, and I'm just going to apply that all over her face. I feel like if you use your fingers, you do a better job, but just make sure that your fingers, your nails are clean and sanitized. So for primer, I'm going to go in with Flawless Ivy primer, and that's what I'm applying on her face right now. And I'll apply on her T-zone areas, the places that she can easily sweat. So that's for her forehead, her jaw, underneath her eyes, and her nose. Like this particular lady sweats profusely on her nose. Like it takes just 5 to 10 seconds for her to start sweating on her nose. So I'm just going to apply the primer on her nose as well, underneath her eyes, because that area is very, very sensitive and you don't want it to crack, and you don't want it to cake up when you apply the makeup. So I'm going to apply the primer on her nose, on this area too, above her lips. We easily sweat there as well. She actually has an oily skin, so I'm just going to apply on these areas so that I can achieve a flawless look. And then for foundation today, I'm going in with this dark shade of foundation from V Beauty Cosmetics. Their foundation is really, really amazing. Like it's so smooth, you don't really need to do too much. So I'll be using this beauty blender to apply that on her face, just softly, like very, very soft. You are giving just soft strokes on her face. You don't want to drag with your beauty blender. I really prefer to use beauty blender rather than brush, because I feel like the beauty blender just places everything, just puts it in place, but then the brush usually gives the makeup harsh lines here and there. Like even if I were to use brush, I'll still have to go in with a beauty blender. Maybe I have not really found the perfect brush for my foundation and my makeup routine, but then I prefer to always go in with a beauty blender. So you need to make sure that you dab that on her face to make sure that you have a very smooth and a flawless look. So you need to make sure you blend all of that into her skin properly. You also need to apply the foundation on the neck to blend everything out evenly. Look at that skin, guys. Like I know I already talked about the skin at the beginning of this video, but damn, oh, Look at that skin, chocolate. This is a snack already. Like, it's so cute and so fine. Just look at this. Who wouldn't love this, for God's sake? Black is beautiful. If you have a black or a dark skin, you really don't know what God has done for you. So at this point, I'm going to go in with Nuban Cosmetics concealer, and I'm just going to apply this on her T-zone area, underneath her eyes, the forehead and jaw, basically on the areas that I initially applied the primer. So I'm just going to apply this concealer on these areas, and this concealer is just about 3 tones lighter than that of her skin tone. You don't want to go into white because she's already a very, you know, dark person and has a very, very beautiful skin. So you want to make sure that everything blends and evens out properly. So you need to know, guys, that blending is very, very key. Like, it's very important when it comes to makeup. You need to take your time and blend properly so that it comes out nice. So I said something about this beauty right here, being a nurse, and in the process of making this video, you know, we're doing the makeup and we're talking at some point, although I had to cut all those clips out. And then I told her that I saw something online some days ago where they were saying that nurses have to be given lots of accolade because they usually go about, like, during their practicals, they usually dress corpses, like dead bodies and all. When I read all of that, I initially did not believe it. So when I had the opportunity to, you know, make her up today, I asked her and she said it's true. I was like, oh my god, I cannot be ever be in a situation where I have to do that. Honestly, nurses are really, really underrated, especially in my country. That's why I keep advising people that if you have an opportunity to leave and go where you are appreciated. Yes, nurses are underrated, and I give them all the accolades because I can't even deal, like, when I see a cut, like a wound or something, I already feel irritated just seeing the blood alone, not to even talk more of, guys, let's not talk about that. So this is the look. I've applied blush and this is giving, oh my god, this is giving, like, this is not just hype. You guys are feeling it already now. Like, this look is giving, like, her skin is giving already. So for powder, I'm going to go in with Chic Cosmetics powder palette, and I'm just going to apply the places where we have lighter shades. I'm going to use lighter shade of powder there. It's actually a 12-in-1 powder palette, and so the places where I have darker shades, like the places where I contoured, I'm going to go in with darker powder. The places where I highlighted, I'm going to go in with lighter powder, and where I have the blush right there, I'm going to tone it down a little bit with the powder and then apply a matte blush palette. So I'm just going to even out the whole look already on her face. I'm just going to apply powder all over her face to give it a very nice look. So at this point, guys, I'm going to apply a lighter shade of powder underneath her eyes like this, just to make sure that it's not cakey and it's not breaking out. So you need to make sure that you apply. Tell your model or your client to look up while you apply powder underneath their eyes, and make sure that you use your beauty blender as well. If you are seeing that it's already cracking or giving lines here and there, you need to make sure that you use your beauty blender to blend, because underneath the eyes is quite sensitive. So you need to make sure that you use your beauty blender to blend it before going in with powder. If you go in with powder without blending underneath the eyes properly with your beauty blender, you will see lines, you will see it cracking. So you need to make sure that you apply, like, you use your beauty blender first to blend underneath that sensitive part, which is underneath the eyes first, before you apply powder. When you see that everything has been evened out properly, you can go in with powder. So right now I'm going to apply blush on her skin to make sure that it pops. In my last video, I was telling you guys that I really do not understand the concept of blush, because we as dark people, like we as, you know, women of color, when we smile, like on a normal day, when you smile, you don't have, like, you don't see all those red stuff or pinky stuff or orangey stuff on your cheeks. Like, what is really the concept of blush? Because if it were to be a white person, when they are irritated, like when they are sad, angry, or when they are so excited or happy, you see that the cheeks actually get a little bit reddish. But we as dark people, like, I don't understand. But of course, we are makeup artists, so we follow beauty trends and all. But then blush actually makes the makeup really come out very fine. But I really still do not understand the concept of blush. Makeup on its own, when you're applying makeup, you are following the natural way the face looks, the areas, because sometimes if you look at your face, you discover that some places are dark and some places are light. That's where the highlight and contour comes in place. So right now I've applied setting powder, and this setting powder is from Adventure Cosmetics, and I'm just applying that on her T-zone areas, the places where she can easily sweat. And then I'll go ahead to draw her brow using my Karite eyeliner, which is in a brown shade, and I'm just going to draw a thin line underneath her brow and at the top, and then fill up the areas where she does not really have enough hairs with a Davis brow pencil. And at this point I'm going to conceal using the same Nuban concealer that I used on her face earlier on, and I'm just going to go in with this shade that is about 3 tones lighter than that of her skin tone underneath her brow like this. And then for the inner corner of the brow, I'm going to go in with her shade of foundation at the inner corner of the brow, and then use a small brow blending brush to make sure that I blend that out properly. So blend. Blending is key, guys. So blend properly so that you have a neat and a flawless look, guys. So for the top of the brow, I'm going to go in with her shade of foundation at the top of the brow and then blend that properly. So I'm just going to do the other brow off camera and then move on to do the eyes. So at this point I'm applying this eye primer from Benai, and I'm just going to apply it on her crease area like this. So make sure you use the right brush, make sure that you are tapping on the skin and not really dragging. You want to build up the primer by layering it properly on the eyes. You want to make sure as well to cover up the skin on the eyes properly so that you have a nice look, especially when you are going in with an all matte eyeshadow. So for the transition area, which is this part that I'm placing my brush on, I'm going to go in with an orange eyeshadow, and the eyeshadow palette that I'm using is from Zikel Cosmetics, and I'm going to go in with a yellow shade underneath the arc so that under the brow can pop. So I'm going to use my brush to blend the transition area properly so that it comes out nice. So blend, guys. You have the power. Like when it comes to makeup, you have the right power when you know how to blend and apply the right shade on the face, on the brow, on the eyes, on the lips. Yes, blend properly, guys. So for the outer corner of her eyes like this, I'm going to go in with a purple shade and then blend that into the inner corner of the eye like this. I'm just going to blend. I'm using the same brush actually. So after doing that, I'm going to go in with a yellow shade of eyeshadow, and I'm just going to keep tapping on the crease area until I have what I want. So this particular eyeshadow today is from letvass. This yellow shade is from letvass. Okay, so guys, it's not like this shadow isn't good, it's just that it falls off easily. It's not as sticky as it should be. It just falls off easily. I really did not have any other choice today, so I just had to use it. But I took my time, made sure that I covered the whole skin with my primer first before applying this shadow. And I was just praying, and it actually stayed quite alright, unlike the previous times that I've been using it. So I'm going in with black for the outer corner of the eye and blend that properly. So at this point I'm going to remove the excess setting powder on her face by using her right shade of powder. Okay, so guys, by doing this, you discover that you are removing the whitish stuff. If you are using a white setting powder on a dark skin, you discover that you are removing the whitish stuff with the use of your own shade of powder. You actually have a very flawless look when you do this on yourself. So if you have a white setting powder apply it, and then when it has baked for a while, you can then go in with your shade of powder to buff it out, and it will be flawless. The whole look will be flawless. So for underneath the eyes, I'm going in with this Karite black eyeliner underneath her waterline like this, and then for the top of the lid, I'm just going to line it up like this, not too bold, just very thin line, so that the eye makeup can pop. And I'll do the same thing on the other part of her eye. So I'm going to use a very flat brush to achieve this, so that I don't have harsh lines here and there. So I'm just going to use this flat brush to achieve this. And while doing this, you want to make sure that you don't touch the eyeshadow too much. Just try as much as possible not to place your hands too much on the eyes. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead to contour the nose using a dark shade of powder, and I'm just going to do this a little bit, not too much. I don't want it to be too obvious. I don't want the contour to be too obvious, so I'm going to contour her nose like this using a darker shade of powder, which is about 2 tones darker than that of her skin tone, and I'm going to blend that out properly, guys. It's actually very tricky when it comes to contouring. I remember that some years ago, oh thank God for growth, I remember that some years ago when it comes to contour, I would want to skip that because I wasn't good. I watched lots and lots of YouTube videos on how to contour, but I wasn't getting it. But the thing with practice is, as long as you keep doing this, your hands keep getting better. So keep doing whatever you're doing. One day you will definitely get there. I know that we are all makeup artists. Some that are not makeup artists are watching my video today, but then we keep learning every day. Years from now, if I look at this work, I know that I'm going to laugh because I would get better years from now. So we keep learning every day at a time. We all have our stages, so one day you get better and you will improve. Just keep practicing. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. So right now I'm going to go ahead to apply this color corrector. It's an orange shade of color corrector. I'm going to apply this on her lip with this lip blending brush. I'll just be tapping on the lip, do not drag. And so after doing that, I'm going to go in with a pink shade of lip. It's actually a nude shade, guys. It's nude, and I'm just going to apply that at the inner corner of her lip and then blend it with the orange shade like this. So blend properly, guys, so that it comes out nice and good. So for the upper lip, I'm going to go in with a dark brown shade, and I'm just going to apply it like this so that it comes out nice and so that it's good. So blending is key when it comes to everything that has to do with makeup. Blending is key. So you know that the eyes are already really bold. I didn't want the lips to look very bold as well, so I wanted to go in with everything nude, and I was actually loving this. It wasn't looking bad, so I'm just going to blend so that I have a very flawless and a nice lip makeup. So at this point, I'm going to go in with gloss. Like, guys, nothing beats gloss. Like, see, I really cannot explain. I'm actually a very glossy kind of person, but not always anyways. But then nothing beats gloss. Like, gloss is just totally on another level. It brings the makeup out properly, guys. It brings it out. So right now I'm going to go in with highlighter, and this highlighter that I'm using is a gold shade of eyeshadow from Zikel Cosmetics, and I'm just going to apply this underneath her brow and then on the cheekbone a little bit like this, just so that the makeup can pop. And I'll do the same thing on the other side of her face like this. Like, this makeup was already giving. I was loving it. It was already popping on her. She was glowing. Like, I'm going to show you guys what this makeup looks like on low lights. Like, I'm going to reduce the light so that you guys can see how amazing it looks, like how her skin was glowing. Let's not even talk too much, just hang in there and you'll see. So I'm highlighting her nose like this just so that it can pop properly and it can come out really nice. So for the forehead, I'll do the same thing. This is just so that the whole makeup can pop and it can come out really nice. So this is basically just about the end of this tutorial, guys. At this point, I'm going to pick up setting spray, and this setting spray is from Kiss Beauty, and I'm just going to apply this all over her face like this so that the makeup can stay intact and so that it can last long. So I went ahead to apply her lashes off camera, and this is it, guys. This is it. This is the makeup. It's giving, like, it's giving everything. I totally enjoyed my time doing this makeup. It was worth it. It was amazing. She loved it. She loved it, guys. She loved it, and I love it most. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in low light. Damn, like a snack. Oh my god. Oh, dark skin girls, you guys rock. You guys rock, guys. This is the finished look, but then after the makeup, I had to apply some pearls on her face because it was actually, this particular makeup was actually for a photo shoot. So I actually wanted to do something different, so I went in with you know, stones on her face just so that the makeup can look different and so that I can give it a very nice look. So I'm going to show you guys what I did, although not detailed. It was just me applying, you know, stones all over her face, and I'm going to show you all how and what we achieved. So this is it, guys. This was what we achieved. I just went ahead to apply stones on her eyes like this just so that it can give it a very different and a more classy and defined look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope that this tutorial was helpful. If it was, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, guys. If you've not turned on the notification button, please do that so that each time I post you'll be the first to know. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video. Bye.